Alright, so in this video, I'm just talking about a lot of shit. I'm gonna be bouncing around. So what I'm gonna do is give y'all a y'all should be looking at what's gonna be in this video. And I'm gonna try to put it in order. So if somebody wanna fast forward or they don't wanna look at it. So I'm gonna start off. I will be talking about Dolo a little bit, but I don't want to talk about it yet. That's gonna kind of like be the main event, because the Dolo came out about the Eastern Star, and yeah, if you study your Bible, usually when that star came around, they started killing men. Because I keep telling you, that is part of the See, Dolo knows stuff in the spirit. Like Dolo, he not one to be fucked with. And you can see how he just go around and say what he say. He in the spirit. Like in that other video, I just told you about it. Like Jesse, I said Apostle Paul and Jesse. So if you listen to my video about the tabernacles that I just made on this channel, Dolo one of them type of dudes. And just like Apostle Paul, Dolo be in court a lot. And he be winning in court, just like Apostle Paul did. So maybe I will do it. Maybe I will do that first. So because they found Jesus with an Eastern Star, but what happened? Her rod. See, guys laughing at you again. The rod is like the big dick. Just like in Genesis, the serpent is like the big dick and Eve. You understand? You can't get past it. That's why, like I said, they talking about the Ethiopian eunuch. Why? Because he cut his dick off. But Ethiopia is East Africa. Anything east, my nigga. And that's why they say a lot of priests, even you see like a lot of monks and a lot of priests, they supposed to not be having sex. I mean, according to their beliefs. I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, so in his spirit, Dolo know what's up, and he know what's coming. And that's why he even said, I'm going to give you the problem, and I'm going to give you the solution. See, he real smart. But like I said, when you coming from the hood, people think you stupid. But for the most part, you way smarter than these motherfucking devils. Like y'all was on space stations and all kind of shit. You used to be space travelers and shit. And that's why sometimes you might feel like a certain star is talking to you or some shit, because you was out there. They know who you are. And that's real talk. And so you seem stupid. But and like when I tell you, oh, I just won't watch the video and shit. You look at the title and you judge by the title. But nigga, that's your future, bitch. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like I didn't say it in the video I just made about the tabernacle, but like Israel, because they real hard headed, they gonna go through some persecution again. But they brought that on themselves. If they was to repent right now, they could avoid it, but they're not going to. So that's what I'm telling you. The stuff you gotta know. So I done showed you a couple of things already, and then they said Moses had a wife named Zipporah, but everybody's saying, well, is that the Cushite wife? You understand? Because remember, when God told Moses to circumcise his son, and for some reason Moses didn't really do it, so the wife did it. Want to cut that thing? You understand? Now I'm not telling y'all I'm for it or against it. I'm just telling you that's the way it is. See, a lot of y'all run like cowards. So you can't run your destiny. Like you be surprised when you stand up to a motherfucker. They have respect you a lot of time. And that's why Pontius Pilate knew Jesus wasn't scared. And he didn't understand it. So y'all gotta understand. I've been in custodies before. I've lived a long time. Even when I was out on can't say the army base, but it was upstate New York, and this is definitely an army base. Ain't no jail. I ain't never been in no jail in New York, but I was definitely on a army base. I just don't want to say the name. All I can tell you was upstate New York, and we was because our job was to put communication equipment. Now this is before 9/11, so you can't be on an army base now, but back then you could. Before 9/11, you could just walk on, like even out here in Eatontown, New Jersey, you could just walk. You used to, because you could just walk on an army base before 9/11, but after that you couldn't do shit. But we used to drive our car up there. We'd be hanging out at the bar, and I used to always go and chill in Burger King, because their Burger King was real nice and quiet, and ain't nobody fuck with me. So I used to go all the way out to that army base just to sit somewhere where I knew nobody would fuck with me, and I would sit there and chill out and eat. And there was another place in Middletown, New Jersey. I used to drive out there, and that was a steakhouse. And they ain't fuck with you in there either. I would get up and walk around when nobody watched me and shit. Cause like I said, for anybody think racism ain't, you out your fucking mind. Like the only people in my racism ain't alive in America is fucking some fucking damn ass crackers or some motherfucking coon ass niggas. And again, I'm gonna get it anyway because I'm a righteous man of God. So that alone, you already got a bullet on your back if you're a righteous person. And these motherfuckers gonna lie on you till the day you die. And that's why me personally, that's why I hope they get what's coming to them. I can't even pray for them. Sometimes I try, and sometimes I'm like, nah, they deserve it. Cause I ain't do nothing to none of you motherfuckers. And so that's the Eastern Star, Herod. Now what did Herod do? He tried to kill Jesus. And then what happens when you see the sun, which is the star in the east, in Revelation 12? They try to kill the male again. And they say the man child, because they coming to cut that dick off. They coming to turn your ass back to where you came from. And like all these dudes, and that's why Dolo was trying to warn them. But these women, not all of them, but a lot of them women, they, like a lot of dudes, they want to have sex with women, and women be saying, oh, that's sexy. Oh, it's sexy when you get in touch with your feminine side. And so dudes that wasn't gay, it turns out then they become gay and shit. And I mean, it's coming. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to tell you with God, when you stand like a motherfucker, God respect you. But see, if you notice, like he kind of in over his head. It's like you were undercover cop, but you finding out that most of them is dirty. So you think you going undercover to get the bad guy, but you find out the dudes on your team is dirty, or just they dirtier. So that's why Dolo, like, he really around, and he know it. Like most of them, he say it. Anybody in these secret societies and taking these oaths and shit, most of them motherfuckers have did some homo shit. That's why I said, fuck it, nigga. I'd rather put my trust in God. But it's almost like the movie and shit. Invasion of the homo and shit. And you keep getting that like, oh no homo. And everybody with an O and shit. Why the O and shit? Because then you got the ooh baby, ooh, with the game going after Meek Mill with that song, ooh, Young Ma. What the fuck happened to her? That's a chick, like a man and shit. But what the fuck with that? Like all I heard was she got into it with Cardi B, and next thing I don't hear from Young Ma no more. What the fuck happened with that shit? I gotta look into that. Don't worry, I'll find out. It ain't that serious to me. Nah, I mean, I hope I don't want to see nobody get it. You know, she made good music. But last thing I heard, she was going after Cardi B, and next thing you know, you ain't hear from her and shit. Alright, so just give me a minute, because this is probably going to be another short video. I didn't want to do these videos like this. I wanted to just do a long video and get it all out. But it'd just be a lot of information coming out. So I already gave you a couple of places, but it's more that if you study your Bible, whenever they talk about the sun or the east, and I think the garden was in the east, the Garden of Eve, that was in the east. And that was all about the serpent, but it's really sexual about the dick and shit. So that's why I told you, I know what I'm talking about. That phallic symbol got to come down one way or another. And I think we get ready to go into a lot of shit gonna start happening. And see, if you was listening to a person like me, you would have learned how to walk in the spirit. See, I have confidence with God. Like I said, I keep telling you, I know God. So that's why I don't worry about a lot of shit. And anyway, if it was gonna happen, what you gonna do about it? Like if they throw your ass in jail and niggas run up on you, you could try to fight, but what the fuck gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? So me, I say stay prayed up, because if anybody can deliver you, it's God, and I know that for a fact. And that's why I be telling. It's a lot of people out here that teaching you, but they're not teaching you how to walk in the spirit. And the greatest warrior has got to go down. That's why I'm trying to tell you all about Joab. Joab was the greatest warrior, but he still went down. Everybody gonna have their time, but if you walk with God, I say I'm the universal and eternal, and I always said that. When you walk with God, you timeless. That's why I said this ain't no poet. I'm not a poet. This ain't no speech. I'm not no fucking motivational speaker. I'm telling you the reality. Because see, niggas can see it. Like the brother I'm speaking about, he can see it. But the bottom line is, it's going to overpower you. Because everybody around you, even people on your team, might be down with it. You understand? And then you're going to realize that. Like if y'all study Jimmy Hoffa, the movie, it's kind of like that's what happened with him. Because he was down with the mob and all that, but then Kennedy's came through and they was overthrowing the mob for some strange reason, which even that's crazy. Just like with Giuliani and Gotti, that's crazy how that happens every now and then. You don't know if that's some Freemasonry shit or what the fuck it is, but they really went after Hoffa, and before the Kennedys, Hoffa was running shit, but after the Kennedys, Hoffa was like, he realized, damn, these motherfuckers ain't gonna stop. But he told both of them, y'all think y'all gonna change corruption and all that? Both of y'all dead men. I don't care if you the leader of the free world. I don't care if you the attorney. Y'all both dead men. And they both did end up dead, but Hoffa also went missing. So nobody know where the fuck Hoffa at. So you don't know if that was some Freemasonry shit? Because they be into all that secret, weird, occult shit. You don't know what the fuck that was. That's some weird ass shit. Even it was weird to see Giuliani put all the motherfuckers in jail, but so did Christie. So you don't know if that's some weird ass Freemasonry shit or some shit that really you don't know, but it's weird. So what I'm saying is, no matter who you are, you can be overpowered. So what I'm telling you, you can make 1,000 videos, but either way, that star is coming. Even if it's a dude that calls himself Star. You understand? A radio host. He's been around a long time. See, this is metaphysics. I'm trying to tell y'all. This is what I'm teaching. This is metaphysics, and it ain't nothing you can do about it but walk in the spirit. Because God's not joking. And that's why I said, I try to tell niggas the truth. Like you self-destruct, and you don't even realize it. Because you thinking with the wrong dick. You thinking with the wrong head. And the head you thinking with is the head that's going to get your shit chopped off. Because you're not, like he said, here's the problem, here's the solution. But most motherfuckers ain't going to apply it. Because they just naturally think with the wrong head. So, my head is Messiah. And Messiah do the thinking. And I follow Messiah. You understand? So I'm not worrying about none of this shit. Because first off, it's coming. I keep warning y'all. And y'all think by not listening to the video or think I know what I'm talking about. But you see Dolo on the same frequency. He know it's coming. And he been fighting against it. But I'm telling you, when I was a young kid, this is long before the Illuminati. When I was a young kid in school, I'd be in the locker room. And all them niggas, the tough guys, be bullying you and all that shit. Your peers or whatever. That's all they would be doing, touching each other on the dick and all that. And they just young ass kids. And that's a long ass time ago. So you can't really blame the Illuminati for that. That spirit always been in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be there. So as long as people stay in the flesh, they're not gonna follow the spirit. So they can talk that talk. But when it comes time to walk that walk, they're not gonna be able to do it. So I'm just telling you, see, I tell you what's up. I'm just telling you, you can't stop it. Now, I could sit here all day, but I got other stuff to do and I want to do some other videos. But I'm just saying, when you talk about the East, you always talking about some type of overthrow of the male. So let's just do this real quick. Genesis 2:14. Now get this. I was born. Now check this. I was born on the 214th day of the year, and I was born at 2:14 a.m. and 2:14 is Valentine's Day. Now this is Genesis 2:14, and the name of the third river is Hiddekel. That is it which goeth toward the east of Assyria, and the fourth river is Euphrates. So now you got that east drying up. See, and that's the kings of the east. And because I was going to tell you all that, I was going to tell you all the kings of the east in Revelation chapter 16. I think it got something to do with the end of the male. Because even if you notice that person get knocked off the throne, that dude get knocked off the throne in Revelation 16. You understand? Now look at this. How clear can it be? Genesis 3, and that's when I got baptized. I got baptized at Buckingham. It was called Buckingham in Pennsylvania on March 3rd, 24th. And that's where I met the female that I ended up being with for like 8 years. So he drove out the man. And he placed at the east of the Garden of Eden cherubims and flaming sword. And you have to understand, because they talk about that Ark of the Covenant. And I just showed you cherubim and that thing I said about tabernacle. Hebrews tabernacle, Revelation 21. And they talked about the Ark of the Covenant and the cherubims. And a flaming sword which turned every way to keep the way of the tree of life. So it's almost telling you that in order for the man to get the tree of life, he can't be a man. See, the woman was here first. Like, if you understand it metaphysically, it don't really scare you. But if you understand it in the physical, first you're gonna hate the idea. If you're a real man, you're gonna hate the idea that you being any type of feminine, or your dick getting cut off or some shit. You gonna hate that shit. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is, whether it happened spiritually or however it happened, it's gonna happen, and you can't duck it. So I think I proved my point. And once again, I want to thank the mystic priest, Dolo, the Grand Sheik, because he's always in tune with the universe. If you know how many times God tell me some stuff, and I turn on Dolo and he talking about the same stuff God just told me. Spiritual stuff, stuff about my family, stuff about my dead sister, stuff about the temple I used to go to, stuff about my pastor who's also dead. He carry all that shit. Dolo was not one to be fucked with. There was only one other person out here that used to do that. And Dolo is out here more, because she don't even be out here like that no more. But that was that female named Key. And she's the twin soul, twin flame to Thomas. But Key used to be like that, because God would show me a whole lot of shit. And then I would turn on Key and be listening to Key while I was working. And everything God showed me, Key would be talking about. And she'd be explaining this shit. So yeah, so we got a few things coming. The decline of the masculine, the rise of the feminine, that's coming. But also, I think the Israel, they got to take one more great beat down, because that's when they finally gonna call out, just like the Book of Judges. And they could avoid it if they just humble themselves right now, but they won't. So they got one more beat down coming. And God might have some business with Christianity too. He might. But the good news is, Messiah really did. That's why they play games with the word, the world and all that. They play games with the world, but that's also word and all that. Because he's playing games with you. He's saying, okay, because of my word, the world will be saved. But the word is a man, and that man is Jesus. So you will have people just saying Jesus, and they may get saved too. Maybe. See, I don't play with hell, because hell is eternal fire and torture. But there may be some people that just go, oh, Jesus, and get saved anyway. So some people higher up, they just say, listen, this is just an experience. You should just live your life and die your life, because you're going to live again. This is just an experience. And that might be true. But I would say, but why would God waste so much time calling me and taking me through all this stuff and teaching me all this shit? You understand? See, there will be some people burning in hell. I don't know who, but I'm not trying. It's not worth it. And I know how God has kept my life so that I can be in ministry. And no matter how much I try, I'm always going to be in ministry. So that's why I said when God called you, it is what it is. And everybody can talk shit about you, but they're not really in your shoes. So they haven't seen. I've seen God. So I know how I think when you're dealing with God, I would tell anybody, don't take that grace for granted. Because one thing God likes to do, he likes to flip stuff. Like if you overconfident, he gonna pull a rug up under your feet just to watch you fall and shit. And then if you too shy and humble, he's gonna push you and push you and push you and make you come out of your shell. Like if you just study the book of Proverbs, he say one thing and then he contradict it. Then he might say something and contradict that. Like it's always going, and he always did that. That's called Asian wisdom, Asian philosophy. That's why I said, if you a man, you're going to see that feminine energy coming your way. And that's why he gave you the book of Job, because Job said, no matter what you throw my way, you're not going to knock me off my square. Because I know I'm a righteous man, and whatever's going on with you, I'm not with it. And that's how Job met, and he got blessed. Like I said, because I've been in that place. That's why I told you all about Jim Rockford. For those of you that heard that video. See, Jim Rockford, he knew he was a man, and he held his square. And no matter who came against him, the government, the gangsters, no matter who came against Rockford, he held his square. And all they could do was try to intimidate him and all that. But no matter what they did, he really was the rock and shit. And see, that whole word forward is like Farad. Everybody know that word forward is a metaphysical word. It's a word of power. That's why you got Ford, then you got Wallace Farad. And whenever the Nation of Islam would throw their big Savior's Day, they always try to do it in some type of Ford center. And then Farrakhan would say, right now we're in a Ford center, but today, in honor of Savior's Day, we'll call it Farad. Because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that Farad was God. And then later on, when Farrakhan took over the nation and started changing everything, then he said, well, I don't believe Wallace Farad was God, but I do believe Elijah Muhammad is my Savior. That's my Jesus. But every now and then he'll still say Farad. He'll still say Farad out of respect to Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad. But Elijah Muhammad said Farad was God. So that word Ford or Farad is a power name. So what I'm trying to tell y'all, when you stand on your square, which I try to teach people, but they missed my point. A lot of that shit is going to happen. Like if you walking with God, you know, I take all my concerns to God. But that's why I'm not out here sending a red alert, because it's going to happen. And that's why I say sometimes if you keep talking about shit, you make it happen. Because even he said one time he was on a bus and he said this woman went out of her way to sit next to him and sit with him because they're trying to steal your energy. And he knew it because that's what he said. And he said, I don't know if she is Eastern Star or not, but I kind of think she was. But that's a spirit. You're dealing with a spirit. That's why I said this shit is real powerful, my nigga. That's why I said, I be telling you, shit when I went in churches and all kind of shit. A lot of these people got spirits, bro. And you got to be careful. And I learned, you already in spiritual warfare. You don't have to voluntarily go nowhere to make it worse. That's just stupid. And I think even God will kind of tell you, you stupid. If you read the Bible, it was times when Jesus said, no, we ain't going in that city. Or he would go and they would reject him immediately, so he would just leave. And even Jesus said, if you go somewhere and you not received, shake the dust off your feet and shit. And that's a reference to hell, because the dust is always going to be a reference to hell. So that's why I said, don't think Jesus is so merciful he's saving everybody, because when he was on earth, that's all he kept doing was warning people about hell. So that's why I say it's a complicated thing. I'm thanking God for his mercy. But if God put me somewhere, I know to stay where God put me. Because, oh, fuck it. You showing mercy to everybody else, you can show mercy to me too. I'm going out drinking tonight. I ain't been drinking a long time. I'm going to get my party on. The next thing I know, I'm burning in hell and everybody else on the other side looking at my ass and shit. How the fuck? So if God called you somewhere, that's why Apostle Paul said that wherever you found yourself when God called you, stay where you was at. If you were single when he called you, stay single. If you was married when he called you, stay married. But again, these are just suggestions from the Apostle Paul. I think that's 1 Corinthians 7. It don't mean you have to stay single. But he made a good point. Stop trying to alter what God has already done. Because that's how you get yourself in trouble. All right. So I proved my point. That Eastern star, that Eastern got to do with overthrowing men. Bringing you back to the divine feminine. And I'm sure it's other places in the Bible as well. But I proved it. So Dolo's right, like he always is, 100% on that. But his spirit is telling him. But what he don't understand, no disrespect to Dolo, but that's a reality. That's a reality. You know that and like we hate white supremacy because white supremacy did all this to us and our people, but they got the okay from the Most High. That's the only reason why they've been so successful overthrowing us. But still, you make choices too. Like what Kanye said, he's right, because you make choices too. And but you want to blame somebody else. And Kanye is showing you like, I'm a businessman, I went the other way, and I had a song that I wanted Jay-Z to put out, and Jay-Z wouldn't put the money up, so I put my own money up, and that song became like #1 and shit. See, he believed in himself. So if you really study that nigga, that's why I say a lot of this shit, you say it's Freemasonry, and it might be, but a lot of that shit is higher. It's weird, bro. That's why I be trying to tell you, a lot of shit you see is weird, but you can tell it's not all human. It's not just a scheme. It's not just an Illuminati scheme, and that's what the Rocks One try to tell you, but a lot of it is. And that's why it's so hard. Even with Tupac, some of that shit with Pac was real, but some of that shit was fabricated. But it's so hard to know which is which, but that's because you're dealing with something. It's bigger. It's supernatural. It's still coming from the source. And whether that source is God of the darkness or God of the light. Because God told you at Isaiah 45, 6 and 7, I create the darkness, I create the light, I create the good, I create the evil. So either way, it's still coming from God. So whoever is coming from, all you can do is bow the fuck down. Like I'm going to say something, I'm going to end this video, and y'all going to be like, why he end the video like that? Because y'all ain't listening. Like if you want some female, and some dudes come up or whatever, and she want to get her freak on, and you trying to say you shouldn't go with them dudes because they're not just going to have sex with you, they're going to be smacking you around and shit like that. But she's still getting, that's what she want to do. You can't do shit about that. That's her business. That's between her, them dudes, and God. But you get all caught up and you think you're going to save the world. Some people don't want to be saved. And like I said, I used to live the bar life. And if you knew how many females came in and talked that talk, oh, I'm a good woman, I would never do nothing like that. Oh, I'm Christian, I would never. No, I just came here for a drink. Oh, no. Don't stand so close to me. And, oh, I ain't in here for all that. And then after a couple of drinks, hoe come out. That chick freak out, be ready to do every nigga in the bar. All right? And you say, well, y'all took advantage of her because she said she ain't want it. And black. But I say, first of all, I ain't take advantage of nobody because I'm the one driving them home. I ain't do that shit. Even when I was in the bar, I was hanging out with gangsters because they was my friends. But I was already doing my thing. I was already moving away from that shit. So I ain't do shit, nigga. But I always drove the females home. I always did. And even when I was in the street, I used to always take the hookers home. Like at 3 o'clock, I would come pick them up. I was like the bus driver for the hookers and shit. Be like, yo, all right, I'm not out here for business. I can't take y'all home and shit. So that always been my nature. I don't have to get it that way, nigga. I'm flamboyant. So anyway, getting back to what I was saying. So now the same chick, so she turned out everybody in the bar or whatever. So y'all say, okay, well, y'all took advantage of her because she was drunk and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then why she come back the next night? Or why she come back the next week? So she got a dark side like everybody do. But so that's why I said sometimes it's nothing you can do, my nigga. It's nothing you can do. Like I remember when I was younger, I watched this movie. It was in the city. And so this dude and female got off the subway in the city. And he was walking her home. And she said, what are you doing? He said, walking you to the door. She said, no, you not. She said, I lived in this hood my whole life. I'm not scared of the hood. She said, this is my hood. I walk to my own door. And he said, nah, I'm really going to walk you because it's dark out here. She said, no, you not. She was like, no, you not. I told you. I don't need you to walk me to my door. This is my hood. This is my place. I don't need you to walk me to my door. And so he tried one more time, and she really got adamant. Like, you not going to walk me to my door. Because you know how women can be, nigga. Like, anybody came up, you know I'm not lying. So he went on about his way because she wouldn't let him walk her to the door. And before she got to the door, she got raped. They gang raped her shit and fucked her shit all up. So then when he seen her in the hospital, she was like, why didn't you walk me to the door? Why did you walk me to the door? You should have been more of a man. You shouldn't have left me. All right. So which one is it? Really? And I'm asking an honest question. I'm not even trying to be funny. Which one is it? Because what y'all ain't understanding, and I hope somebody hear what I'm about to say. So let me tell you how that might have went down. So let's just say he manned up and said, listen, you know you my friend, and this ain't happening. I'm going with you. And he kind of forced her a little bit, and she starts getting a little loud. Then them same niggas that was going to rape her beat his ass for grabbing up, roughing her up. Even though he ain't really rough her up, maybe he just grabbed a little bit of something and said, I'm definitely taking you to your door, and forget all that crazy talk. And so she get loud and like screaming something or yelling at him, and then the same niggas that was going to rape her ass beat his ass. Beat his ass for grabbing her, whatever. And then now she having sex with one or two of them dudes because now they like the heroes and now he's the bad guy. Now, if I'm wrong, I think I got some men out there raising their hand testifying with me right now. And I'm not putting a woman down. This is not the point of the video, motherfucker. This is the point of the video is to wake your ass up. Because I'm hitting some people in the spirit right now. How much can you do? You understand? What I'm trying to tell you, my nigga, some problems ain't your problems. And that's what the book of Job was about. The reason why God fucked Job up, because Job was so righteous. That's why the Bible starts off talking about Job was the righteous on the planet. But God's laughing at him. Oh, you Mr. Righteous, huh? That's my job. You stopping me from making these people grow, spiritually speaking. Because every time they have a problem, they call you. So you blocking me, and I'm a jealous God. You're taking my shine, Job. Oh, you so righteous, huh? Well, let's see how righteous you be when I send Satan in. That's what went down in the book of Job. That's why can't nobody explain to you what happened in the book of Job. Why would God attack a righteous man? Why was God so hard on Job? Because Job had to learn a few lessons. First off, when Job went down, ain't nobody come help Job. The only people that showed up was false friends. And then that one other dude. I think his name was Elihu, and he was like the spiritual one. He was like the spokesperson for God. That's kind of like what I am and shit. That was Elihu. But everybody else, nobody came to help Job. Now, he helped all these people. As soon as he went down, the first thing they said was, wow, if that happened, he must have really did something bad. Nobody said nothing about, but he was such a good man. We got to help him because he helped us. Like I said, when you stay in the scripture, you become wise because you got these people to turn to Jesus and a few things Jesus said, but you got to put what Jesus said in context, and you got to put what Jesus said in context with the whole Bible. Because if it was all about forgiveness, we wouldn't have to be talking about no hell because he forgive everybody. And if it was all about forgiveness, he wouldn't come in the book of Revelation with a sword telling the people, if you don't get your act together, I'm going to come get you with my sword. So you got to put everything in context. And when Jesus said, if somebody smack you, turn the other cheek, everything he said, he's talking about him, what he did at the cross. They took his coat. Everything he said, they made him walk. If somebody make you walk a mile, go twain, or whatever he said. But the twain is the two people he talking about that I talk about on here. I told y'all when the twain, when the veil ripped, and Matthew 27, the twain. So you got to understand your Bible, what he's really talking about. Otherwise, you're going to be some sucker letting somebody exploit you and smack you around and shit like that. He ain't say all that. Like, you can forgive people and you can pray for people, but you ain't got to be no sucker. You got to understand the scriptures. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. And I never answered the question before today, but I'm answering the question based on reality and based on what God's showing me. And it's my job as a teacher to pass that on. Now, what do we know? We know that that night, even if that dude had walked her home, it was going to be dudes down there because they raped her. So it's definitely going to be dudes down there. So we know that for a fact. Now, and I think nowadays most people would agree. But years ago, a lot of people would have said, you know, the dude he should have went with her, even if she would have been mad at him or whatever. Eventually, she would have calmed down probably, and they would have been friends or whatever. And maybe he would have walked it down, and the dudes would have seen her with a dude, and they wouldn't have fucked with him. Maybe. Or maybe by him walking her down, he would have lost his life or got beat down or whatever. But I look at this totally different, and I didn't mean for this to go this long, but it needs to be said. Ultimately, that boils down to a choice. You understand? See, a lot of people want to live their life, but sometimes you got to realize where you at. Now, I'm going to attack the man first. Okay, you know what type of neighborhood she lived in. Everybody knew. That's why you was trying your best to walk her home. Walk her to where she lived. But you was making a choice too. Because just because you a dude don't mean niggas won't run up on you. And the truth of the matter is, even if you did walk, if them dudes was crazy enough to rape her, that don't mean they would have stopped. You gotta, like I said, what do we know is a fact? We know a fact was she did get raped. So if they was crazy enough to rape her, they probably would have been crazy enough to do something to him. Maybe. So people make choices. And sometimes people are naive. Because people go, oh, my neighborhood's kind of bad, but it ain't that bad. Yeah, it's bad. Like my neighborhood, it's a small-ass neighborhood. It's a real nice neighborhood, but every now and then we get a lot of people up in here. But it got so bad that cops was coming, like you couldn't look out your fucking door and see cop cars going by. And sometimes they was riding back to back. And I ain't never seen them ride back to back like that except in Asbury. And Asbury is more like the hood. So, who's to say? That's why I be trying to tell people, people take shit for granted. Don't take shit for granted. Because that's how you get caught out there. You be out there, it's dark and everything. You out there by yourself. Ain't nobody going to hear you by the time these motherfuckers grab your ass. But for some reason, people just think it can't happen to me. Yes, it can. Why can't it? That's why Dolo was just talking about all these females going missing. He was just talking about it. So, ultimately, people make choices. Because in her case, she said, I'm going to live my life. I'm not going to be afraid. But ain't nobody telling you to be afraid. But you do have to have common sense. And they chose to go out that night. They chose to go wherever they went that night. And they chose to come home late when it's dark. So when you make that choice, and it's sad because some people have to work and stuff. That's why I said sometimes you can't avoid it. But when you know where you at, you make choices. Now apparently in her mind, she just couldn't envision it happening to her. But it happens to people all over the world. So why did you think you were so different? And I could go deeper with this, but I'll try not to. But I will say this. Probably the dudes that raped her knew her. Probably the same dude she seen in the daytime be saying what's up, joking with her. But they caught her out there. Like they used to say on the West Coast. If I see a nigga slipping, then you know I'm straight tripping. Now, he could have manned up. Like she said, you should have manned up. You shouldn't have just let me walk, no matter what I said. He could have manned up and said, I don't care what you talking about. I'm going with you. I'm going to walk with you or whatever, but I'm not leaving you. And you can do whatever you want, but I'm not leaving you. And maybe, you know, it would have worked out and she would have gave him some great sex. Like, wow, he really is a man. He really put me in my place. Or maybe they would have went from being friends to her really wanting to be with him. Because he really wanted to make sure she was safe. See, it's a catch-22. That's why I said I wanted to examine this. Because it came to me. And I'm trying to examine it myself. Because I went over this for years. And there's different ways you can come. See, I understand it. Because I had a Kenyan female. Was like that sometimes. Because sometimes I was, she just did a lot of shit. So I was always quick to think she was doing shit wrong and she wasn't. But she did do a lot of wrong shit. So that's why I was like that. But then what I learned from her was no matter what, you can't, you understand? You can't let somebody make you act emotionally. Like you can't let no female who's acting emotional make you act emotionally. You gotta like be a man and shit. And so but that's one possibility. You know, she might have walked and he would have walked with her and wouldn't have left her and shit like that. And then the next time she see him, she's looking at him totally different. Like, wow, he really walked me. Wow, he's a real man. He really cared with me. He's just a friend of mine. But maybe we need to step this up to more than friendship. That probably would have happened. That probably would have happened. That bitch ass nigga should have walked her home. Now I don't know. I really don't know the answer. I'm trying to say I'm trying to get this shit out. But that's one possibility. But another possibility was, like I said, he might have been trying to walk with her and she would have kept basing up and them niggas would have came up. But he still would have looked like a sucker. Because they would have came up like, yo, what's up, what's up? Cause they, like I said, the dudes that raped her knew it. It's all her hood. They knew who she was. Unless it was some type of free consequence. You know, they just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But I don't believe that. I believe the dude's from her hood. They was probably out there up to no good anyway. And they seen her. Like I said, when I catch a nigga slipping, then you know I'm straight tripping. But then what could have happened was they would have acted like, oh, you know, they hear her basing with him. And then they like, oh, what's up? You know, oh, he ain't got nothing to worry about. This our hood. Like, they gonna play the good guys, even though they would have raped her if he wasn't with her. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's just how the game is played, my nigga. I done seen this my whole life. So then she would have been acting like, yeah, he acting all stupid. He all corny and shit. He all scared and shit. And he's trying to look out for her. Look, nigga, because I have females around me my whole life, so I'm telling you, I already know how this shit is played out. See, that was one possibility. He walks her home and whatever, now she feels protected, and now next time he sees her, she's looking at him different and flirting with him, and now his friend is acting totally different, and now he got some sex. But that's only one possibility. But the other possibility is she keep basing, he's trying to walk with her, and then them same niggas that would have raped her if he wasn't there, now they gonna act like, man, this is our hood, ain't nothing gonna happen to her, we got it. Now they acting like they the heroes and the superstars, and now they making him look like he a sucker. You understand? That's why I'm saying, how much could that nigga have done in a case like that? That's another scenario. So he still ain't gonna get no sex, and then she's still gonna be acting crazy. Like, this nigga all stupid. Like, I can't walk to my own door. He's just stupid. He's still my friend, but he's just stupid. Then you gotta hear her nagging you all the time on some silly shit. When you as a man, you know what them niggas would have did if you wasn't standing there. Like I said, I had a female, a girlfriend I was with, and one time I tried to tell her how men really think, and she told me I was wrong. And she told me, that's how you think. Now, keep in mind, I'm looking out for her. I could have just kept on fucking her and let her get mine and then fuck you. We gonna break up anyway. I'm caring about her, and I'm trying to tell her how I think. And then she's telling me that's how you think. Not every man. I'm trying to tell her the reality. That's what I meant to say. I'm trying to tell her reality of how men think. That's how you think. Not every man. And that really separated us. Because she really ain't believe it. And I was hurt. I was like, I think that's why I'm still talking about that shit. That was probably one of the most, I mean, we hurt each other because we was in a relationship and shit. Long time. But that was one of the times she hurt me the most because you're trying to look out for her and she basically telling you don't know what the fuck you talking about. So then she came back to me one day and she said, you know what you told me about how men think? She said, I was sitting in the gym and I was up on the bleachers and it was guys sitting below me on the bleachers and they forgot I was there. And they was talking. She said, I heard everything she said. And she said, everything you said, they said. She said, so you ain't lying. So she apologized and shit. So that's why I said this dude he's not going to win, if you understand what I'm saying. Because them dudes was this is why I said let's deal with facts right now. We definitely know that there was dudes at the end of that street where they was going. Even though they couldn't see him. But he knew I'm not going to walk you down to the street. I'm going to walk you down because there could be somebody down there or whatever. And she's like, nah, this is my hood. I'm good. You ain't walking me nowhere. So we know it was going to be dudes that they was going to pass. And she had already shown him that, nigga, I don't want you walking me down my own street. I ain't no sucker. This is my block. I don't need you to walk me to my door. This is my hood. So she on some thug shit, right? So we know that that's all the reality. Because we can't talk about coulda, shoulda, woulda. You got to talk about reality. So if he had walked her anyway, they would have been basing. Because she already told him, nigga, you're not walking me to my hood. You're not walking me to my door. This is my hood. Ain't nobody scared out here. Ain't nobody going to fuck with me. This is my hood. So they going to be, you know it ain't going to be cool. Because in her mind, she's like, man, you acting like a bitch. I told you I don't need you to walk with me. Right? And then they would have came up with them dudes. So either them dudes still would have tried to rape him, her, or they would have tried to rob him or something. Or they would have just played the other role, which would have been, what this nigga? Dude, we got this. This is our... So now she's all hooked up with these niggas that would have raped her. This is what I'm telling you, real talk. They would have raped her ass if he wasn't with her. You understand? But now she hooked up with these niggas. Now they probably gonna get the sex anyway. And now this motherfucker looks like a sucker. She might not even want to deal with his ass no more. And even if she do deal with his ass, she gonna treat him differently. I hope some of y'all listening. So y'all said, yeah, are you saying he shouldn't? I'm saying, nigga, use your fucking brain, nigga. Like sometime you go past, you too much like Job. You try to save the fucking world. The world can't be saved. If God wanted the world to be saved, he'd be saving it. I'm taking you back to John 3:16. With that word, you can spell world, you can spell war, you can spell word, nigga. And the word that God gave to Job was fall back, motherfucker. You are not God. Where were you when I created all this? You try, like God just went off. Y'all don't understand. See, when you understand that God is feminine, then you understand the book of Job. Because God showed up in Job chapter 38 and just started spazzing out. He went off on Job worse than any wicked person in the Bible ever. 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 From Job chapter 38 to Job chapter 41, God went off on Job, the most righteous man in the planet. That's how the book started. Why? And don't start telling me about Jesus, because I know that's Jesus because Jesus took our sins and all. Yeah, but you adding that. You're adding that. You're adding that. That's not what the book says. Now, that might be true in a smaller sense, but the greater sense was God was pissed the fuck off. Where the heck were you? Can you make this see? So he's like, how dare you try to take my glory? How dare you try to care so much about other people that you make me look bad? That's what that shit was about. And if anybody, like I said, if I'm lying, I'm dying. If anybody else out there, I'm talking to real motherfuckers, because I can't talk to y'all fake ass motherfuckers that ain't doing shit but perpetrating a motherfucking fraud in the name of Jesus. And I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, because you's a lying ass fake. I'm talking about the real people that want to know what really happened in the book of Job, because don't nobody know what happened. God spazzed out on Job. Like, how dare you walk around this community saving everybody and helping everybody? They not calling out to me. They calling your name. I'm going to put a stop to that shit. When I'm done with your ass, you'll think twice before you go running to help somebody. They ain't even call you for help. And Job was like, oh, he covered his mouth up. Oh, I didn't know you. Like, you should have been getting to know me. You should have been spending more time getting to know me. You wouldn't have found yourself in this position. He read the riot act. That's like in Matthew chapter 16, when Peter told Jesus, look, Jesus, you ain't going to go to the cross. Let it be afar from you. You're not going to the cross. Jesus spazzed out, said, get behind me, Satan. And he just went off on him. They said Jesus looked at everybody because he knew Peter had to be corrected. Because in front of everybody, you just said, if God said go to the cross, I can say I'm not going to go. So he spazzed out on Peter. That's why, if you understand what I'm saying, I'm following up why these so-called Israels, they can't be in the presence of God. That's why they're going to be in that tabernacle. It's different locations, because y'all didn't faithfully serve me. So that's emotionally speaking with God. Now, still getting back. And then that's when God talked about the beast in Job chapter 41 and probably Job chapter 40. Job chapter 40, he talks about Behemoth. In Job 41, he talks about Leviathan. But he's trying to tell you those are his beasts. So when you find yourself, oh, I hate white supremacy. Yeah, but God sent it on you. See, the more you understand the truth, the less you'll make stupid-ass mistakes. And this is what I'm trying to teach you. But see, y'all think I'm attacking the gender. I'm not attacking no fucking gender. I'm telling you what's up. I already told you. It's only going to be one gender in just a little bit of time. That's metaphysics. You're not going to get away from that. I don't care who you are. But my point is, he was not going to win that situation. Only ideally if he manned up and he walked. But she had already made it perfectly clear, I am not going to let you walk me to my door. So that means they would have came up. She still would have been basing and talking crazy. Them niggas would have seen them. Now either them niggas would have say we're going to rob them or rape her. Or them niggas would have said they would have played the good guy role. Because they know it. We can capitalize off of this. Yo, man, this our hood. We got her. This our little sis and shit. Yeah, the same sis she would have raped if that nigga wouldn't have been with her. But she's not going to know that. And she's never going to figure it out. Just like the only reason why my girlfriend figured it out because God set that up. Because God's like, damn, you got a good man, and he's looking out for you, and you treating this motherfucker like crazy. This nigga will kill for you. That's how I was young. I would have took a body. Like, I got niggas to this day I ain't seen in a minute. I catch a body for them niggas. Because that's how loyal. We not on this fake shit. This fake thug shit y'all into, rap music and shit. Them niggas ain't no real niggas. They studio gangsters. Maybe a few of them. Them studio gangsters. And y'all believe that garbage. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So when that's the real situation, he did all he could do. She made perfectly clear, nigga, I'm not letting you walk to my door. This is my hood. Nigga, fuck you. Ain't nobody fucking with me. Everybody know me. Blah, blah. She really believe that shit. Yeah, they know you in the daytime, but they'll rape the shit out of you in the night if they can get away with it. Like I said, most women know. Most men think with their dick. It's just the way it is. No disrespect. And that's why I be telling you. I've been trying to teach, but they don't listen. I got an email from one female that got raped. And the reason why she sent me that email, because she knew she should have listened. Because I told you step by step what not to do. So that's why I said certain things in this world, my nigga, you can't change. And when you dealing with that type of energy, you always going to be a bad guy. Because no matter what you do, it's always going to be you a bad guy. So when you study the book of Job and you listen to what I'm trying to teach you, you have to learn how to make decisions based on that fact. Because otherwise, you're going to keep on self-destructing yourself. So like one time my brother said, well, you the common denominator. The common denominator was that female in this case. And again, I'm talking about this female in this case. I'm not talking about all gender. But in this case, that female made it perfectly clear that she thought she was on some hood shit. She thought she was a tough guy. She thought she could handle it. She thought she could go down that dark-ass street by herself. She thought it's all good. She got it. Back the fuck up, motherfucker. So what I'm trying to tell you, either way, that friendship was over. And that friendship was over because she was an asshole. Too bad. You wanted it, baby. You got it. You wanted the hood. You found out what the hood was really like. And I'm sorry. I'm not being merciless. I'm being honest. You wanted it. He wanted to escort you. You didn't want it. He was willing to fight for you. He was willing to be there for you. And you wanted to be a super thug until you got to the end of that block and you found out what your hood really was about after dark. Because obviously you don't really be in your hood after dark, so you really don't know. And obviously when you hear information, you like most of these people on YouTube. What girl? Yeah. Oh shoot. Oh wow. But you really wasn't thinking. You just talking. You ain't studying shit. You not applying shit. That's why a real teacher don't talk to your ass. You think this is some type of community chat and shit. But this is life-saving information in the physical and the spiritual. So again, nobody's going to blame that. Only weird-ass people going to blame him. The moment she got that adamant, and believe me, she got really... Listen, I haven't seen that since I was like young. I don't remember what age I was when I saw that video. I think I saw that on like channel 13 on PBS or something. So I must have been younger or something. I mean, it might have been maybe, well, let's just say it had to be probably over 20-something years ago. And I still remember like yesterday. Because that's how adamant she was that you ain't going to walk me. So what the fuck was he supposed to do? And like I said, that's the only scenario. He would have manned up and said, fuck that, I'm walking you. We're not going to be out here all day. And just manned up and went up with her. And then somehow he got her to the door and they didn't get robbed and they didn't get raped. And the dudes ain't fuck with him. And then he probably would have got some sex. But that's all probably. Probably he would have made it. Probably she would have stopped arguing. Probably. But there's some dudes that would have did it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm man enough to admit it. It's some dudes that would have walked her. They would have said, fuck that. And it would have been all right. Because they did have like a lion. Like he protected her. And they was worthy of that sex. Now I'm an ordained minister. If she gave him some sex, I'm going to say, okay. I'm not going to tell you that's evil and wrong. Because I respect that nigga. Because he was more rough, more real enough to go down with her no matter what. And when them dudes seen him, they already knew. If we try something, this nigga don't look like the average Joe. This nigga look like he gonna fight to the death for that female. So they would have just fell back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's real street shit I just told y'all. And when she seen him that way, because you best believe she never seen him that way before. That's why she talked to him the way she did. Because she never seen him man up like a real hard rock. But he would have definitely got some sex if that happened. But that's not his fault that that's not his character. You understand? See, y'all want to put the man down. Everybody like me, I'm a different dude. Like people that see me, they swear up I'm some type of quiet ass nerd, which I really am. But I came up, I'm respected by all the gangsters and thugs in my day. I know when to get crazy, but everybody's not like that 24 hours a day. You got Clark Kents that turn into Superman. I'm one of them niggas. So that's why I said he was trying to be real with her and respect the friendship. But what she really wanted that night was she wanted a Superman to tell her, listen, no matter what you say, I'm not leaving your side till you get to the door. You can yell all you want, blah, blah, blah. That's what she really wanted. And that's not really her fault, because that is a hood mentality. And I'm not putting the hood down because I was always in the hood. I got nothing but respect for the hood. But I'm trying to teach y'all who's ever listening what really happened that night. She wanted him to be more of the nigga she seen in the hood, like a hard rock. And he was trying to be more like a gentleman, but he meant well. So was she right? 100% from a hood perspective. 100%. But everybody's not hood like that. So he was trying to respect her. So at the end of all that, so what I just taught y'all was the divine feminine. And see, I hope I help somebody, because maybe if you're ever in that situation, you'll understand what she's really saying. What she really was saying was, nigga, man up. Man up. I'm supposed to talk like this, but you're supposed to override that with your manhood. And he didn't do that. And I understand that. I ain't even mad at her. But now I'm going to tell you another scenario. Okay, let's say he did, quote, man up. And he walked her to her door and got her, and she got her in safe. But let's say he's walking up and then he gets jumped and gets fucked up. And maybe they fuck his ass. Because nowadays they going up in the booty. So maybe he's the one that gets beat up and raped and robbed. All right. So that goes back to what I said. People make choices. Now, as a man, should he have walked her to her door? If y'all asked me that question many years ago, I would have said yeah. But the world has changed so much. I'm just being honest with y'all. See, I'm not going to lie to y'all. If y'all want to call me a bitch, I would have been scared, nigga. No, I might have walked out. When I was crazy, I would have did it, because I used to like shit like that. But now I'm older, man. I got other things to think about. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, things I wouldn't have did, say, when I was 20 or something. I ain't 20 no more. So I don't know if I would have walked her down there. I would have been like, I'm glad she told me. I'm glad she called me a bitch and told me don't walk her down there and shit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all motherfuckers. I'm gonna keep it 100. But see, I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm fucking around anywhere where somebody gonna knock me upside the head and shit. You understand what I'm saying? Them days is over. But I used to be out there by myself on them streets and shit. In fact, in 95, I was trying to get a gun. Because I was going to walk on them streets, just wait for somebody to fuck with me. I wasn't going to, because I don't fuck with people, but niggas was always fucking with me. So I was trying to get a gun with the sole purpose of walking on that street. And as soon as somebody said something, I was just going to blast their ass away and shit. That was like 95. But like I said, like in the 90s, I was in a religion, but that shit fucked up. It was a fucking ass lie. So when I came from that, I was mad at everybody. So it took years. I was mad at God. Like, I gave my life to you. How you let this shit happen? I was loyal to you. And then I was mad at God. I was mad at religion. I was mad at just fake ass shit. But that's part of who I am today. Not a psychopath like I was in 95. But then, so what I'm saying, back in the day, I would have definitely walked down the street and been hoping somebody said something. Because I was crazy. But now I'm like, nigga, I'm too old for that shit, nigga. I'm trying to live my life. Nigga, I'm trying to get on retirement, nigga, please. I ain't even got no retirement. So no, I definitely want to, like I said, I would have did it, you know what I'm saying, as a man, but I wouldn't have wanted to. I would have been praying the whole time, nigga. But what I'm trying to tell y'all, all jokes aside, she's 100% right. I agree with her 100%. But what she didn't understand is this: everybody don't want to be arguing every day, and this is what I be telling females. Everybody don't want to be arguing every goddamn day, especially excuse the goddamn part, take that back. But everybody don't want to be arguing every day, bro. Especially if you already came from a broken ass family and all that shit. You sick of arguing. Like, just let me walk you to the door. Why you gotta turn it into a fucking World War III and shit? Now you acting like we ain't gonna be friends if I walk you. So now I'm gonna lose a friend. So you understand? So she turned it up, and because she turned it up, she got raped. Like it kind of was like karma. She turned it up, so she got raped and she lost her friend anyway. So what he was trying to avoid that night was losing her friend. But he lost her because she got raped. He lost her, and she got raped because she ain't never gonna want to be his friend because she's not mature enough to take responsibility. She's gonna blame him because she's always gonna say he should. No matter what I said, he should have did that. And to this day, people really believe that. And that's why I be telling you, vanity is a motherfucker. Because vanity is always gonna say it's all about me. It's all about me. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right. And it's always going to say, I don't have to have no accountability. So as long as you have anybody walking around that feels like they don't have no accountability, you're always going to have fornication, adultery, broken families, unwanted babies, abortions, where the daddy at, baby, because somebody saying I don't have no accountability. It's not my fault. Oh, that's just how we are. Ha ha ha. So if you see how complex this is, but again, should he have manned up and walked her too? Definitely. But y'all got to understand, had he did that, I just told you, somebody still may have got robbed. Somebody still may have got raped. So by him, quote, manning up, unquote, and walking her, that don't mean anything would have changed too much. Maybe a little bit. But she made the decision and she ain't want him to. Like I said, back in the 60s and 70s, early 70s, if the cops came to your crib, like if it was your house or whatever, like say it was the woman or something, and your neighbors called because you was arguing with your husband, and your neighbors called. If the cops came to your crib, you came to the door and said, listen, there ain't no problem here, and we don't want you here, and we need you to get off our porch, get off our property because we didn't call you. Back then, they would have to leave. See, I was back then. But because abuse became so prevalent, then they could come, and that's all they need is a phone call. They can come in your doors. Like if somebody was to call and say, listen, they arguing, y'all need to do something before somebody get hurt, they coming in that house. And you could say Warren and all that, they coming in that fucking house. Because they feel like they coming to prevent a possible murder and stuff like that. Because before people was getting killed because of that other way, and people was going, why ain't y'all do something? So then they finally just said, fuck it, if we get a phone call and we believe there's a crime going on, we got a right to come in. We don't need no warrant. So like I said, I look at the whole thing, I look at the whole picture a lot of different ways. And it taught me, listen, y'all usually don't hear me say this, but it taught me something. Because y'all can imagine, I've been over this thing a lot of times. But what would you do? And the sad fact is, like I said, the reality is some low life down at that street at the end. So it's gonna be some type of whatever. Whether they let you walk her past and she gets in the house and shit, and then they jump your ass and rob you or beat your ass or whatever. But it's gonna be a situation. So would you walk her down there knowing that Even if she's telling you, no, you ain't gonna want me and all that. I probably still do it though. I'm a sucker. I mean, I'm a sucker for a damsel in distress sometimes. But I would be praying the whole time and shit. But see, I'm crazy like that. I'd be like, okay, I guess there's one more ass whipping. I guess I got one more coming before I go to the grave and shit. And tonight might be the night. No, but I would take her home though. I was just fucking with y'all. Even though I'm not, I would be scared though. Cause this is a motherfucking hood. Niggas ain't playing. Niggas don't know your ass in the hood. I remember one time my car broke down in the hood and shit. But it was still daylight and shit. I was trying to get my car and shit out of there before the hood got dark and shit. And I was laughing because like I be joking with God. And it was like God said to me, yeah, you always praying for the hood. You always praying for the hood. Let's see how the hood treats your ass and shit. Like, you always praying for the hood. Let's see how the hood treats your ass and shit. No, but the hood always been good to me, though. I was always in the hood. Like, as soon as I got my TV show, I went straight to the hood and shit. And when I was cutting high school, I was always in the hood. I was in their school. I would cut my school and leave and be in their school and shit. And they was going to jump me one day, but one of them niggas knew me from back in the day because I was always in the hood. But now I would have took it. I would have just went through all that, you know, because I'm used to females talking crazy and shit. So I would have took it. I just had to really say it. That was soul searching for me. Would I risk my neck for somebody talking crazy? So yeah, I do that for y'all all the time. Y'all just don't see it. Niggas that think that God won't blast that ass. You better be glad God got people like me praying for y'all and studying the word and begging God and all the shit we do. Like I said, I'm always going to be an ordained minister regardless of what you think. And you actually put a curse on yourself because you're going to church and put something in that box. Because that's a minister. But he ain't really doing the will of God from the word of God. He's doing the will of God based on their traditions and their beliefs and their denominations and all that other shit that Jesus told you don't do. But you'll put something in the box for that man. And he's probably cheating on his wife and everything. So God see what you're doing, and you got to pay for that. All right. So give me one more second. But really, like I said, everything is a choice. I wouldn't necessarily be putting myself in a situation that I would put myself in a crime area anyway. I would try not to. Because you can work in a corporate office. You can work in a corporate office, and they could be a bunch of crooks. You could work for an employer that's ripping you off. So it don't just got to be the hood. But like I said, it's all about decisions. And sometimes you try not to make decisions that bring you to a situation that could be dangerous. But in that case, you know, what would you have done? And that's what I learned from that. You should have manned up. She's 100% right. You should have manned up. And you can only talk about that night. Because somebody might say, well, listen, you might help her that night, but she might do the same stupid thing the next night and get raped anyway. But you was there that night. So you can't use that as an excuse. You was there that night. Now that don't mean you Superman and getting involved with other people's problems. Like I said, it's complex. But you was with her, you knew her and stuff like that. So it kind of was your responsibility to make sure she got home safe no matter what the bullshit she was talking. And but you can't save everybody. Because you might be riding down the street and a dude might be beating his girlfriend's ass or something. You can't jump out your car and get involved with that because you ain't Superman. And like I said, I did that one time in high school. This dude and this female was fighting, and I thought a dude shouldn't be fighting a female, so I jumped in, and then she punched me in my face. And then when she seen me the next day, she didn't come up to me and say thank you. She looked at me and laughed at me like, you fucking nerd, like mind your business and shit. So that's why I say you can't take on everybody's problem. So each case is different. And I'm trying to live my life that I don't have to be dealing with that. I'm not no young dude. I'm trying to live my life that I don't have to be dealing with all this crazy ass shit all the fucking time and shit. But sometimes you ain't got no choice. And that's why you go down that street praying. Because even if you get jumped or robbed, maybe when they stab your ass, it won't be as bad and shit. Because you outnumbered, nigga. It ain't like you Bruce Lee. So I keep it 100. I ain't with that stupid talk. Niggas come out. Like when you be listening to fake thug rappers, you think they take on the whole world. They a bunch of homos and shit. They took an oath, just like Dolo said. They getting fucked up in their ass, in their ear, and their mouth. They getting fucked up. When they get on the microphone, they the super street thug. But they a studio gangster, a.k.a. homo. All right. So now what could you have learned from what I was just talking about? You got to understand the situation the way it really is. And also, you can't let anybody cause you to destabilize or cause you to self-destruct. But that's why you got to watch certain things you do. That's what you should really learn. Watch certain things you do. And a lot of people don't get it. And that's why sometimes the message goes on dead ears. But I was just trying to wake people up into this video basically to think. I'm just trying to do one thing. I was trying to get people to just not just think, but use discernment. That is this really worth it? Is this some type of setup? Is there any way I can get through this without destabilizing myself? And really, like, if you're really a person of God, what is my obligation to God in this regard? But that's my final decision on that. She's right. He should have manned up. But I'm still trying to tell you, as crazy as it is, had he got to that street and them dudes would have been there and they would have seen her, and I know she know who they was, and that they would have acted like, oh, we got her. This is our hood. This is our little sister. It ain't nothing to worry about. We got it. You ain't got to worry about it. And it would have made him look like a sucker. And then depending on what type of female she was, she still would either appreciated him trying to walk her home, but I know she would have been all up with them other dudes. Them dudes probably would have been getting sex from her, even if they wasn't getting sex from her before, because they acting like, oh, we all family, like we got her, but they the real rapists and shit. So that's why I say that's when it get complex, because it's only for that reason I'd be like, fuck that bitch, I ain't walking her nowhere, fuck her, you know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, that's the world you live in, and you know what I'm saying? This is just a dirty ass planet. I keep telling y'all that. I'll never stop saying that shit. It's a dirty ass planet, and good guys do finish last. But we might finish last, but we not scared of your bitch ass. So that's why I'm here, to tell that motherfucking bitch ass cunt that run this planet that you're a joke to me. You'll always be a motherfucking joke, and we not stopping. So I can say that. But as far as people selling you out, as far as people taking your kindness for weakness, as far as people not supporting you, even though you support their punk asses, you know what I'm saying? That's part of being on this piece of shit planet. But I do know one thing. There's a certain spot God puts certain people, and people like me going to be right next to God. And these other motherfuckers, they going to have to keep going through a whole lot of shit because they fake-ass phony frauds acting like something that they not. So that's the one thing I can do when I come out this motherfucker and go out in the real world. I get to shine on some frequencies and levels that other motherfuckers can't withstand. Peace out to niggas like Dolo, because that's some more light, real light that's on the planet. Not no fake ass shit, but real ass shit. God bless.